Digestion is crucial as your body requires nutrients from food you consume and the liquids you drink in order to maintain a healthy and regular state of operation. All nutrients are comprised of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, minerals, vitamins, and water. These nutrients are used for critical tasks such as energy production, cell growth, and repair. The digestive system is composed of the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and the anus. The pancreas, gallbladder, and liver assist them along the way. The digestive process begins in the mouth. Your food ground the food you consume and combine this with saliva to produce bolus. During the mixing process, a salivary amylase enzyme begins degrading carbs. Once the food is soft and somewhat malleable, the tongue pushes the food to the rear of the mouth and into the esophagus. Saliva is composed of water, mineral salts, and an enzyme called ptyalin, which initiates starchy meal digestion. Saliva is somewhat alkaline and helps to keep the mouth moist and food soft. The automatic system regulates salivation, although it is triggered by hunger and the sight of food. The esophagus is a flat muscular tube around 25 centimeters in length that connects the pharynx to the diaphragm and then to the stomach. Your esophagus grows as food is ingested. Food passes down the esophagus in around 2 seconds, depending on the texture. The stomach is a muscular hollow organ. The stomach's muscular coat churns the food up to the stomach, combining it with gastric secretion to aid in digestion. The food bolus becomes more fluid and is referred to as chyme. The stomach glands create gastric juice, which contains water, mineral salt, enzymes, hydrochloric acid, and intrinsic factors, which is required for vitamin B absorption. Hydrochloric acid aids in digestion and killing microorganisms. A typical meal will take between 2 and 4 hours to digest before reaching the small intestine. The small intestine is a muscular tube that measures roughly 20 feet in length and is separated into 3 distinct sections: the duodenum, ileum, and the duodenum. Each of the 3 components is critical for digestion and absorption. Absorption is a critical step in the digestive process because it transports the digested food protein into the bloodstream and eventually into the cells. The small intestine's surface is folded into villi as well as microvilli, which increase the small intestine's surface area. Each square inch of the initial mucosa contains approximately 20,000 villi, and the mucosa surface cells have a projection of their cellular membrane called microvilli. The purpose of the large intestine is to absorb nutrients, convert food to feces. The ascending colon is the first segment of the large intestine. It progresses upwards via the abdominal cavity. This is where the process of water and nutrient removal begins. The second section is the transverse colon. It is the longest and the most movable part of the colon. The third section is the descending colon. This area is utilized to store waste until they are ready to pass through the rectum. The sigmoid is the largest segment of the colon. The muscular lining of this part of the colon flexes to generate internal pressure, which forces the feces into the rectum. The liver performs a variety of activities. To begin, it creates bile, in which the small intestine utilizes to aid in digestion of dietary lipids. Additionally, it metabolizes carbs, fats, and proteins, assists in the blood sugar regulation, stores glucagon for rapid energy synthesis, fibrinogens that clot blood synthesis, vitamins, and recycles red blood cells. Foods that are consumed in large portions must be broken down into smaller molecules. Then they are acted upon by different enzymes. This is the process of mechanical digestion, which starts with chewing or mastication in the mouth and continues in the stomach with churning and mixing movements. Chemical digestion reduces the complex structure of carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids into small molecules that are absorbed and utilized by the cells. Chemical digestion, referred to as hydrolysis, breaks down the complex molecules using water and digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes accelerate the normally slow process of hydrolysis. Numerous structures in the digestive tract produce compounds called enzymes to aid in the breakdown of big macronutrient food molecules. An enzyme is a specialized protein molecule that can accelerate or catalyze events within the body. therefore facilitating physiological changes necessary for life. The rate at which reaction occurs is determined by the enzyme and its function within the body. The activity of enzymes can be influenced by a number of factors, including temperature, pH, and concentration. Enzymes function optimally within a narrow range of temperature and pH, and suboptimal conditions might result in an enzyme losing its ability to bind to a substrate. Increasing the temperature often accelerates a response, whereas decreasing the temperature slows it down. Extremely high temperatures, on the other hand, can force an enzyme to change its form, which is called denature, and cease to function. Human body temperature is around 37 degrees Celsius, so enzymes in this body work optimally at this temperature. However, it is not the same for pH, which changes depending on where in the body the enzymes are. Every enzyme has a preferred pH range. When the pH range is outside of the range, enzyme activity is slowed. pH value can denature enzymes. Increasing the concentration of the enzyme accelerates the process as long as there are substrates present to bind to. When all of the substrates have been bonded, the reaction will cease to accelerate as there will be no substrates available for new enzymes to bind to. Increasing substrate concentration also enhances the rate of reaction to a point. Once all enzymes are bound, increasing the substrate has no influence to the pace of the reaction as all accessible enzymes are substrated and operating at their maximal rate. Trypsin is the enzyme that aids in protein digestion. Trypsin degrades proteins in the small intestine, continuing the digestive process that began in the stomach. Trypsin works in conjunction with chymotrypsin and pepsin to degrade proteins into amino acids and peptides. Trypsin functions optimally at temperatures of 65 degrees Celsius and a pH level of 9.0. Maltase is an enzyme that catalyzes the hydrolysis of the disaccharide maltose to the simplified sugar glucose. Amylase converts starch to maltose. Maltase is produced by the intestine and converts maltose to glucose. The optimal pH for maltase is 6.5. The optimal temperature range is 48 to 50 degrees Celsius. Dietary habits refer to preferences that individuals or groups of individuals have for the food they consume, which is heavily influenced by our environment, religion, and ethnicity. A balanced diet and healthy eating refer to a variety of foods and beverages that provide sufficient and appropriate amount of nutrients. Healthy eating can help reduce the risk of diseases including heart diseases and diabetes. A food group is a collection of foods having similar qualities and nutritional values. Group 1 Meat, fish, and alternatives. Oily fish are a good source of omega-3 fats. Group 2 Breads and cereals. Increase concentration and help fuel working muscles. Group 3 Fruits and vegetables, providing numerous vitamin and mineral benefits. Group 4 Dairy and alternatives. These are important for bone health and muscle contraction. Group 5 Oils and spreads. Unsaturated fats, olives, nuts, and saturated fats like butter. Nutrients are substances found in the diets that are necessary for the formation and repair of tissues and the production of energy. Carbohydrates' primary function is to supply energy to the organism. Certain types of indigestible carbohydrates, referred to as fiber, are also necessary for proper bowel function and the prevention of gastrointestinal diseases. Protein is required for a variety of functions and it is a component of every cell, which is constantly degraded and replaced by new tissues. When calories are insufficient or when too much protein is taken, protein can be used as an energy source. Fats and oils are classified as lipids, and while fat in the diet are a source of controversy and growing worry, they serve a critical function in human physiology, making them a necessary part of the diet. Vitamins are synthesized by plants, with the exception of vitamin D, which the body may synthesize through exposure to sunlight on the skin. Minerals are necessary for the building of the body and the appropriate control of metabolic, hormonal, and neurological activities. Water serves as the body's transportation system because it is the base fluid of blood. It delivers nutrients, oxygens, vitamins, and minerals to the cells. Dietary fiber is a non-digestible complex carbohydrate found exclusively in plant-based meals. Humans lack the enzymes required to break down the sugar unit. Non-starchy polysaccharides is the skeleton of the plant, It is plentiful in unrefined foods since it is found in the outer walls of the plant seeds.